Hey, this is Taylor with Believe in the Run, and I'm here with my first thoughts on the North Face Vectiv Infinite 3. And I'm also trying to do my due diligence as an athlete. Just finished a run. I'm hopping in the ice bath, aka this mountain river. So hopefully it won't be too long because it is cold. But like I said, I just got off the trails and I was wearing this shoe, and I'm finding myself pretty impressed. As with a lot of shoes this year, we've had a lot of shoes in for review. And it's just gonna be a banner year for trail shoes. And it's gonna be a super great year for the North Face as well, because the Infinite is kind of their fourth major overhaul of the year. They just kind of went through their line and gave it what I'm calling the dream treatment. Every shoe got that new dream foam, which is a supercritical foam. Depending on what shoe it's in, it's gonna be a slightly different material. And this one is a supercritical TPU. And so that was also in the Vectiv Sky 2, which this shoe is meant to complement. Think of it as you could think of it as a trainer, you could think of it as an everyday version, or something that's sharing similar technologies, a little more beefed up here in the Infinite 3. But overall, I really enjoyed this shoe, which actually isn't a surprise to me because we really love the Vectiv Sky 2 as well. I tried coming into this review with just kind of fresh thoughts, because who really knows? It's a shoe all on its own. And so what's going to be different in this one is that it's going to have 5 more millimeters of stack comparatively. This foam also felt a little more dense to me, not as light and responsive, which is actually okay, because if this is going to be an everyday runner or something you're going to take out for a lot of different things, I think that's going to be just fine, because it does end up being 37 in the heel and 31 in the forefoot. That's still a fairly high stack. Even in today's standards, that's still a fairly high stack, even though it doesn't look like it, and actually feels much more nimble than having such a high stack. So I really like that about this particular shoe. It does have a dual warp upper, which all of the Vectiv line does now. This dual warp upper is a little more built up, a little heavier. It does have a sock liner within it, so it's not as see-through. And it also has some of these more built up overlays, as you can see. So it's just a more protective shoe. There's just more shoe here. It's also heavier, like duh. But overall, it fit very similarly to the Vectiv Sky 2 in that it was secure in the right spots. It was nicely secure in the midfoot and the heel. And it's actually going to be a slightly generous fit for those who might need that. I have a average to wide average forefoot, and this fit me really nicely. It kind of reminded me of how the Merrell Long Sky 2 or the original Skyfire felt, and I really loved how those fit, like one of the best fits overall. So I'm really impressed with the fit here. Something that runners are going to love is that these have the Surface Control outsole is a lot more aggressive on this model compared to the Pro or the Endurance 4. And this Surface Control is going to hold up. It's quite grippy. I went backpacking in this shoe actually too, and it gripped really well on wet rocks, also gripped really well on some drier, sandier stuff. So overall, I'm finding myself quite impressed with this shoe. Again, it is a little more shoe than I thought it was gonna be, but it fit really nicely and runs really well on a lot of terrain. Even I did a little bit of a tempo segment around a peak here in my neighborhood, and it could pick up and move. A lot of that is thanks to this Dream Foam that's kind of serving a lot of different purposes. We've loved Dream Foam in pretty much all their shoes. And yeah, I should touch on this. It does have a Vectiv 3.0 plate in it. It's different again from the Endurance model or the Pro model. It's more similar to the Vectiv Sky 2, where it just has kind of a subtle plate system that's top loaded, but this is TPU. I didn't feel it in here. I could feel it in the Vectiv Sky 2, which was a carbon infused plate, but this one's just a TPU plate. Felt really natural, really light stability, and I think that's another reason why this shoe is just, I think it's going to be a great overall shoe, the Infinite 3. And I'm really glad we ended up getting it in, because I think we can confirm that the North Face is knocking it out of the park this year with all of their updates. I'm going to be getting some more miles in this, including quite a big long run as I'm training for Leadville right now. So stay tuned for full thoughts. We'll do a written review on believeintherun.com and a full review on YouTube as well. Stay tuned.